Okay. Well, here we are. Third time's a charm. Obviously, the first time I've ever attempted streaming on YouTube. Good evening, everybody. This is Brian with B&B Custom Outdoors. Uh, just want to do a quick chat tonight. Just about some of the general goings on with B&B Custom Outdoors and some new things that are happening. Hopefully, you guys will be interested in it. Um, and that's pretty much it. So I'm going to just dive right in. Um, First off, it's been busy. Um, the company, the business, I shouldn't say the company, the business has really evolved over the last couple of years. And, there was a time, I don't know, a year and a half ago, maybe 2 years ago, where I was doing these little live chats quite a bit on Facebook. And, in that time, a lot has changed just kind of with just where the business is. Um, I've been very busy with trapping, mostly nuisance trapping. Actually, I was unable to do much fur trapping at all this winter. I did a little bit, but very very little. Most of the trapping that I've done has been nuisance trapping, and that has really kept me hopping. It's a good bit of travel and a lot of work, a lot of work. So there's been that. Um, I'm very thankful that recently I've had my somewhat yearly large order of rods from the Brotherhood of the Jungle Cock, Pennsylvania chapter. And Jack, if you ever get to see this, thank you again. I so appreciate your business. So that took up quite a bit of the last several months, building 10 rods for those boys, and I hope they're all really happy with the rods they get. Let's see, what else have I been doing? And then then it's just kind of personal stuff. It's watching the baby on a daily basis and soccer games and football games and that kind of stuff. The personal bit definitely affects the business bit, but that's okay. I mean, that's one part of why I decided to try running my own business, was so that I could have some leeway with that personal time, and still make a couple bucks here and there. So that's kind of the way things have been going in a nutshell. Some things are changing, and I hope it's going to be for the better, and I hope it's going to be a positive for everybody involved. Earlier this year, I watched a video on YouTube of one of my favorite YouTubers, John Null. And if you're not familiar with John's channels, he's got two of them. He's got the J Null Zero channel, and he also has his regular dude fishing channel. And when this is all done, I'll see if I'm smart enough to put those links down in the bucket for you, to anybody who happens to watch this later, for you to click on, and you can go investigate those channels yourself. But he was talking about how he wanted to go into the, I guess you call it, professional catfishing tournaments. Now, I guess everybody pretty much has heard of like the bass tournaments, BASS, and all that kind of stuff. The catfishing side of it is a little, that's a little new to me. But John, it said just something about it, and it kind of piqued my interest. And I'm not going to get into John's story. His story is not mine to tell, but he's got a very interesting life story. And something spoke to me. Is like, okay, if you're going to reach out to somebody and try to make a YouTube relationship to try to help somebody else out, John's the dude you need to do it with. And when I get those feelings like that, I tend to listen. And so on a lark, I contacted him and said, "Hey, let me build you a rod for your catfish tournaments." And we chatted a couple of times via text, and we chatted a time or two on the phone, and he agreed to let me build him a rod. And so I did so. That took up a good little bit of time earlier this year. But it came out really nice. I think I posted some pictures on my Facebook page, not my personal page, but my B&B Custom Outdoors page. If you want to look at some pictures of that rod, and John's posted a couple of videos now where he's using that rod, which is pretty cool. But so that all worked out well. John was happy with the rod. I was happy with the rod. So now I kind of find myself in the very strange to me, or, kind of not strange, really just funny. I'm sort of a sponsor for John's cat fishing endeavors. One of the sponsors, and I'm really happy about that. That's not an avenue. When I first started this business seriously about 5 years ago, I thought at that time, oh, maybe I'll hook up with some bass dude or something and get this kind of a gig, kind of a sponsorship deal going. And I thought more actually about sponsoring some of the local school fishing teams. And I don't mean to tell tales out of school, but I've contacted some of the local fishing teams and had very little interest actually, which is kind of a bummer. But that's their business. That's okay. But I'm really pleased at this sort of new relationship that I've got with John, helping his catfishing endeavors, and I think that relationship eventually is going to, I hope, grow into a true friendship as well. We already like each other. We spent a few minutes with each other here and there, and he's it's borne out what I originally thought. Was like, this is a dude that that deserves a little bit of somebody helping him out. Not that I'm helping him out, but you know what I mean. Helping him out in the sense of helping out his fishing endeavors. And I said that my meetings with him since has borne that out. Also, very fortunately and very pleasantly for me, that relationship has also introduced me to several other guys who have YouTube fishing channels. And again, if I'm smart enough to figure out how to do it, I'll put links below when I post this as a video instead of a live stream. But 2 weekends ago at John's Southern Anglers Hangout event over at Lake Wheeler, I also had the opportunity to meet Richard Jean, the fishing machine. I had the opportunity to meet Everett with ALOF TV, that stands for A Lot of Fishing TV. Great little YouTube channel. Jay with I believe it's J&J Catfishing. Stacy Gatson, who is just I think just this week started a YouTube channel. And Lord, I hope I'm not forgetting anybody. I think that's all the main YouTubers I met, and there was a couple of other folks there at that event too. It's good to meet good people, and it's good to meet good people who are into the same things that you are into, and who appreciate the work you do. All those gentlemen, I felt like they appreciated the rods that I've built for John so far. I'm in talks with one of those gentlemen to build him a rod, and hopefully there'll be more of that coming. And I'm very pleased to be sponsoring John, and maybe, you know, who knows what the future holds. But if I can sponsor folks by building them a rod here, or you know, doing a little something there, and help them get into the money in the tournaments, I think that's awesome, and it's nothing but good for my business. So I'm just really been really happy about this development, and I really think that I really think it's going to bear fruit for all involved as time goes by. And to bring tonight's sort of major point home to you, is a related issue. I donated another rod to John 2 weeks ago at the hangout, and that rod is now on auction on his Rankin Creek's Rabbitry website. And again, I'll put the link to the auction itself in the bucket when I'm done recording and all that tonight. Folks, if you see this video, and if you are so moved, if you're looking for a rod, you want to help John pay for a couple of catfish tournaments by purchasing this rod, shake the rod out and put a bid on it. It's a nice rod. It's a rod I'm proud of. I'm proud to have it representing B&B Custom Outdoors through John. It's a really nice little light spinning rod. I put a few little decorative touches on it. It's going to make somebody really, really happy. And so, you know, if that sounds like something that somebody watching this is going to be into, follow the link, go to rankinscreekrabbitry.com, I believe it is, and put a bid on that thing, man. And you know, you're going to be helping John out. You're going to be helping me out. You're going to be helping yourself out, dare I say, because, again, I think that anybody who gets that rod in the long run, they're going to be really happy with it, and they're going to really get a lot of joy using that rod. So that's that. So that kind of wraps up the YouTube and sponsorship portion of the program, I guess. You know, just trying to get my name out. And I don't know. I just feel like this is a great way to do it. And again, after meeting these gentlemen face to face, I'm more convinced that it's the right way to do it. You know, I feel like it's a relationship with people instead of me paying a magazine or a website or some other larger entity to run an ad on me. You know what I mean? So I'm, like I said, I know I'm repeating myself, I'm rambling, but I feel like it's going to bear fruit. And I don't like plugging, but I hope that anybody who watches this will investigate these guys, look into their channels, and help it bear fruit. I think that'll be great. Moving on then. This is sort of an aside, different story. I'd mentioned earlier in this little chat that, you know, I've been doing a lot of trapping in the last several months now. Several months. Some pretty big, hard, tough jobs. And I got a lot of fur. And I've ran across a new way to tan the furs. And for any of you who've never watched any of my videos before, I don't sell my furs to NAFTA or to fur harvesters or any of those folks. When it comes to fur for sale, I guess, you've got a couple of avenues. Most guys will take a fur, dry it, and then they ship it to NAFTA or which is the national. No, what is it? Oh, I can't remember what it stands for. Or fur harvesters, and these are basically big companies. I think they're both based in Canada, and they take these furs. They give you that much money for them, and then they put them on auction. And I'm not knocking them. Okay, I don't want you to misunderstand what I'm saying as I'm knocking these companies, because they make a lot of trappers a lot of money. And they're great. From everything I've read, everything I know about them, they're both great companies to work with, you know. So don't misunderstand me. I'm not knocking them. The reason I personally don't use them is because Southern fir, and I'm in Georgia, Southern fir generally doesn't bring really good prices. And so it's a lot of work to get a fir, even to the point of being dry and then shipping it out. A lot of work. And just for me and for my way of thinking, and for no more than I get to trap for fur sake, it just doesn't make sense. So I tend, because of all those reasons, I tan my own fur, and then I sell it directly to you, either through my Etsy account or at the little, you know, craft shows and stuff that I do, Chattanooga Market, that kind of thing. So I've again on YouTube, I ran across a video. I want to say it was CT Trapper. I don't, again, if I have time and wherewithal, I'll try to put it down in the bucket. Using a different tanning process than what I've been using. And I should back up and tell you, the tanning I've done for the last couple of years, I've been very pleased with the raccoons, but man, it just doesn't do a good job on the beavers. And right now I have a lot of beavers because in Georgia, beavers are not a protected species. So even the beavers I trap on a nuisance basis, I can sell those furs. Okay. So I got a lot of beaver fur. And I, you know, I was concerned about tanning it the way I knew how, because I just wasn't pleased with the quality. So I ran across this video, and this product is called Rattel's Quick Tan. And I'm not going to get into all the details because I'm sure many folks who might eventually watch this probably don't really care about that. But what really sold me on it is if done correctly, the fur comes out with a a white, stretchy, washable skin. So basically, where the furs I've sold you in the past, they've been okay for like trim on clothing, but really they were more for crafting, wall hangers, that kind of stuff. If this goes as I hope it will, and I haven't, I should give you a proviso. I have not actually done it yet. I've got a couple in process, but they're not done. But if it goes as planned, and if it goes the way I think it's going to go, I'm going to be able to offer you guys fur that is going to be fully clothing worthy. And I'm super excited about that. And you know, if it's clothing worthy, then of course it's going to be worthy for crafting. For like if you're a mountain man, rendezvous type guy that goes to the powwows and stuff, and you like making your own stuff for that kind of thing, my furs are going to be perfect for that. Because again, not only is it going to look nice and feel nice in the hand and to the touch, it's going to be washable. So if it gets really nasty or something happens to it, you're going to be able to bring that fur back to a really nice, pristine state. So I'm super, super excited about this process. Hopefully I'll start having some results with that end of next week or early the week after. You know, I've got, like I said, I got a lot of fur. So it's going to take me a while to get everything tanned. But these first two that I'm tanning right now, hopefully they'll be done by then, and I can give you some real data on how it turns out. And so that's wanted to share that with you. And then finally, and I see I'm at 19 minutes plus right now, so I'm going to try to wrap this up and try to keep this pretty short and sweet. My schedule for this summer for being out and selling to you directly. Again, if somebody who's never seen me before or somebody who doesn't know about my business, if you don't know, I'm based in Northwest Georgia. And my main outlet for the last several years has been the Chattanooga market. It's in Chattanooga, Tennessee. It is a seasonal market, although it's almost year-round now at this point. But I'm there seasonally because of my family life and other things. I'm really only able to get out there and do my thing pretty much in the late spring, summer, early fall. But I should be able to start Chattanooga Market probably late this month or early June. And once I begin, I'll be there regularly. I don't go every week necessarily because the things I sell, my calls, my rods, the furs, all this stuff takes time. I can't. There's none of it that I can like build in a day. It all takes time for me to build and finish appropriately. And so, I'm not able to go every single week, but hopefully once we get things rolling, I'll be about twice a week, twice a month for the remainder of my season. Be out there and meet some great folks and sell a couple things and make some new friends. And that's what it's all about. So that's coming up late this month, early next month. I also have a new event, and doggone it, I should have written it down before I started this. In September, I will be attending the. Let me see. So if you'll forgive me, I'm gonna pull it up on my phone right quick. I know this has to be fascinating viewing right here. Me staring at my phone. Let's see. Oh, where is it? Okay, here it is. NOE. Thank you. All right, NOE Outdoors. NOE Outdoors is going to have a trade show in September. They're going to have John Godwin of Duck Commander fame there as for meet and greet. And it's going to be in Cartersville, Georgia. And so I'm really looking forward to having a nice event like that to go to in my own state. And again, as with all the stuff I've mentioned, I'll try to put a link in the bucket when I'm done and post this. But that's in September. I'm also looking at a couple of other separate events that I'm not quite ready to mention on camera just yet because I don't have all the information. But the NOE is a done deal. And sometime at the Chattanooga Market is definitely a done deal as well. And then finally, to wrap up, if you're not in this area, if you're not in the North Georgia, Southern Tennessee, Eastern Alabama, blah 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 area, and are interested in any of my stuff, the rods, the custom rods, the animal calls, the furs, any of it, you can always go to Etsy. And even if I'm not showing a lot of stuff for sale on Etsy, that I have on my Etsy site, there's a thing you can click to order custom gear. And you click that, and even if it's not a rod, you say, hey, I'd like a beaver pelt. And, and if I got it, I'll tan it for you. I'll ship it to you however you want it. So if you're interested in any of my goods, you just check out that Etsy page. And again, I keep saying the same thing over and over. I'll link it in the bucket when I'm done. I think that's about it. I've been running over 20 minutes now, so I'm going to wrap this up. I thank you in advance for watching. I hope you enjoy it. Check out my website, www.bbcustomoutdoors.com. There's a link to the Etsy page in there. You can check out my B&B Custom Outdoors Facebook page, and it's B Custom Outdoors. Check that out. And, I'm not going to be a big content creator on YouTube. I just don't have that desire, frankly. But I think I'm going to start posting a little bit of this, a little bit of that from time to time. Depending on how this pans out, I may do more of these live chats from time to time. So you can come to this YouTube page from time to time and see what's going on and keep up with what I'm doing. But with that, I'm going to say good night. God bless you. Thank you for watching, and I hope to see you soon. Thanks. Bye.